Vishnuvaraya Krishna Krishnaaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyarishatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kindly pay attention through proper Shravanam. The raga, that sweetness must come, as we explained yesterday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan Keshi Ghat Vamshivata Gadashakana जहाँ सब लीला कोइलो श्री नंद नंद श्री नंद यशोदा जय जय गोपद श्री रामादि जय जय वेणुवत्सव जय वृष भानुजय कीर्तिदास सुंदरी जय पौर्ण मासी जयो अभिरनागरी जय जय गोपेश्वर वृंदावन माधव जय जय कृष्ण सखा गटु निज राम जय राम घाट जय रोहिणी नंदन जय जय वृंदावन वासी जत गण जय द्विजा पत्नी जय नाग कन्या गण भक्ति ते जहार पाइलो गोविंद चरण जय रास मंडल जय जय राधा श्याम जय जय रास लीला सर्व मनोरम जय जय ज्वाला रस सर्वरस सार पार किया भावे जहाँ व्रजित प्रचार श्री जानवा पाद पद्म कोरिया स्मरण unless and until we follow a Vrajvasi, we cannot enter into Raganuga Bhakti. We cannot enter into Vrindavan Dham. So Raghunath Das Goswami is very exalted Vaishnavacharya. He has a book called Mana Siksha. Mana means the mind and Siksha means to educate or to give instruction to the mind. Because the mind is very fickle. It is jumping around like a little child. it's not very stable. Even Arjun says in the Bhagavad Gita that Chanchalahi Mana Krishna, that the mind is very fickle. It's very difficult to control the mind, just like controlling the wind. It's very difficult to do that. So, we have to give instructions to the mind. Prabhupada said, every morning when you wake up, beat your mind or your 100 times with the shoes. And when you go to sleep, beat 100 times with the broom, with the jhadu. So, in the Vaidhi Bhakti especially, we have to convince our mind. We have to convince our mind, because laziness is a very automatic thing. Because since time immemorial, we are used to. The Kali Yuga symptoms are very prominent, mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavata. Prayana Alpa Aisha Rajan Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadritaha. Sukadeva Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that in Kali Yuga the lifespan is diminished. Alpa Aisha. Manda, people are lazy. Sumanda Matayo, they are misguided. And Upadritaha, above all, they are all disturbed. So that is, and Kali Yuga only approximately 5,000 years have elapsed. Still 428,000 years yet to go, so you can imagine. It is mentioned in the Shastras that right now our longevity or lifespan is about say 100 years at maximum, somewhere around that number, 90 to 100. As Kali Yuga progresses, the lifespan will become 30, 32 years. That's all we will live. There will be scarcity of water. There will be scarcity of vegetables. People will be fighting over food and water. And so, that is Kali Yuga. But we are most fortunate because we are in the golden Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga doesn't come every time of golden Kali Yuga. That's what I meant. Because in this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So, if we add up, just to round up the numbers, there is 40 lakh years of Kali Yuga. Then you add another, 4 lakhs. 4 lakh years of Kali Yuga. You add another 4 lakh to it, so it is 8 lakh years of the previous Yuga, Dwapar. You add another 4 lakh to it, then it is Treta. So that is 12 lakh years. And you add another 4 lakh, then we get 16 lakhs. That is Satya Yuga. But to be exact, it is 432,000 multiplied by 2, multiplied again, adding another 432. So it's about 17 lakh years in Satya Yuga. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead from Golok Vrindavan, Nanda Nandan, he only appears in every 10,000 Dwapar Yuga. And in every 10,000 Kali Yuga, right after when Lord Krishna appears, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. But other yugas, everything is like clockwork, just like a movie. The shows are from 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, to make it easy to understand. All the other yugas, Dwapar, Treta, Matsya Avatar will come, Narsingha Avatar will come, Vamana Avatar will come, every yuga of Dwapar. In every Treta, Lord Ramchandra will appear. But in every Dwapar, Lord Krishna does not appear. And every Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not appear. So, we are most fortunate that although Kali Yuga is very degraded, we have the opportunity to be a part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And we should take full advantage. An intelligent person knows how to take advantage in their favor, materially speaking or spiritually speaking. And we mentioned yesterday, we have so many qualities that we use in the material world, including greed. People have greed for money, greed for this, greed for that. In the material, same thing we have to apply, that greed for spirituality, for Krishna consciousness. to advance in Krishna consciousness. That greed should be there. So this greed is very important. Similarly, there are other qualities that we cannot get rid of those qualities, not possible. But we can simply dovetail them, Prabhupada said, towards Krishna consciousness. So for example, anger. It is mentioned, Prabhupada, that anger is a bad thing. But Hanumanji had to use anger in order to burn Lanka. So in the service of Lord Ramachandra, Hanumanji used anger. Prabhupada used to get angry quite often. Try to understand, you rascal. He would get upset at many things if the instructions were not followed. Why? Out of compassion, for the benefit of the listener. So many people can misunderstand such persons who are giving instructions, and they are harsh sometimes. But it is for the benefit of the persons. Hopefully they will listen, and hopefully they can apply that in their lives. So we should always take that as a benediction. When personalities like Srila Prabhupada, even though when they chastise, it should be considered a benediction. Like Naradji gave a curse to the two sons of Kuver, Managriva and Nalakuver, right? But that turned out to be the highest benediction. They were living in Swarga, and they were in the Mandakini river, and they were shamelessly sporting with some women. And Naradji was passing, and at least the women, out of shame, they covered their bodies. But these two boys, they kept on drinking the wine, and they kept on being naked, and they disregarded a great personality like Naradji. So Naradji cursed them. If you want to be naked, Prabhupada says, stand naked for thousands of years, become a tree. Prabhupada used to say that when he went to the US and Europe, when he saw boys and girls wearing very short clothes. So Prabhupada said, just see how they are hankering to be naked. So in their next lifetime, they will become trees, stand naked for thousands of years. But this shrapa or curse of Naradji turned out to be the most amazing benediction. When they were delivered, they did not go back to Swarga, in their father's kingdom, where Kuver is the treasurer, or in Indra's kingdom rather. They got a wonderful position in Golok Vrindavan. Jiva Goswami Pad mentions that these two boys became two great bards. Bards is like love kush. They are always singing Ramayana, going from place to place. In English, it is called bard. Those persons who sing go from place to place, or they take their musical instruments and simply singing. So they became two, Snigdha Kanta and Madhu Kanta, in Golok Vrindavan. And every morning, when Nanda Baba and the Varishta Vaishnavas in Golok, they sat, assembled, they would simply sing the different pastimes of Krishna. So that is the position they got. So we should never consider the instruction of someone who is, only meaning well to be otherwise. So here we find today we are going to be speaking about a very exalted subject matter, which is taking Vrindavan Dham in our hearts. So how can we do that? Best way out of all the processes is to hear about Vrindavan. As we mentioned the other day, what's the best process of taking darshan of the Lord? Through the ears, not through the eyes. Eyes is there. We are not denying that, but the best process is through the ears. When Srila Prabhupada, he was a pharmacist and running his small pharmaceutical business in Prayag, Allahabad area. So he was traveling, he had to sell his products. And during his travels, on the way to Allahabad, his train stopped at Mathura. And this was during Kartik, sometime middle of Kartik. So he knew his Guru Maharaj, Jai Om Vishnuvad, Paramahansa Parivajagacharya, Ashtottar Shata, Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada was conducting the 84 course Vraj Mandal Parikrama. And he knew that Guru Maharaj is now reached in Vraj Mandal, a place called Koshi. So he got off halfway through his journey. His ticket was not up to Allahabad, but he says, this is Mathura. And he immediately, spontaneously said, I must go where my Guru Maharaj is. So he ended up coming to Koshi. Now, generally we find even today in our ISKCON, during the daytime, devotees go during Vraj Mandal Parikrama, they walk, or whatever the case may be, they take the rickshaw or the bus, they finish the parikrama of a particular region in Vraj. And then sometime in the afternoon, some Varishta Vaishnava or some Guru will give Katha on Vraj Mandal. So that was the process that even Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati probably followed from his different experiences. So he used to give Katha in the afternoon after everybody finished there for that region, their circumambulation or parikrama. And then the announcement was made by the management who was managing the Vraj Mandal Parikrama. Those who want to go take darshan of the local temples, you may go. And those who want to sit and listen to Guru Maharaj, you can do that. A lot of them got up and left to take darshan, physical darshan with the eyes of Koshi temples. But our Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charan, they sat with a few other most dedicated disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And they listened to him. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, our Prabhupada, he remembers the words of his spiritual master, talking about himself, meaning about A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada. That my Guru Maharaj commented that he likes to listen, pointing at our Srila Prabhupada. He likes to listen. So unless and until we do proper Shravanam, even nowadays we go to Vrindavan, we see even ISKCON devotees, forget about the outsiders, they are interested in just taking pictures. And honestly speaking, be very honest, how many times do we revisit those photos? They simply lie in our hard drive of the mobile phone. And also what we do is we simply forward it to many WhatsApp groups. Even many messages, long messages, they don't read but they forward to others. So this has become such a nuisance in one sense. In Vrindavan temples, they do not allow photographs in the ancient temples. Why? The reason is you take a photograph in your heart. That is the whole idea. In those previous days, they used to have old cameras and they film and they print them. What happens to those prints after some time? Most of the people, they throw them away in the garbage. That happens. How many times have we, very few will be very conscious when we open the tilak package, it's with the Gopal wrapped around. What do we do with that? Throw it away. It's offensive to do that. Photographs, they end up in the garbage. So they were very wise, the ancient. And of course in those times, even more dated back, even more, the camera was not so invented. So the camera was the heart. The hard drive was the heart. So when you close your eyes, or if you have taken very nice darshan, you close your eyes. Try it right now, all of us. Just take 30 seconds, just take darshan of Radha Gandharvika, Giridhari and Mahaprabhu. Simply don't look at me, don't look anywhere else. Simply start from the lotus feet or going upwards, we can see the beautiful garland that is entangled with Srimati Radharani's garland. As we go upwards, this beautiful pink dress we are dressed in, and the beautifully decorated Venu or the flute with the Malti flowers is there. And then we slowly move up to the lotus feet, where he's got a very, very slight smile. It is known as smita. Krishna doesn't show his teeth, and especially when there is a smita, a mild smile, it indicates there is some naughtiness in him. He's going to say something and he's going to react when Radharani and the gopis are going to say something. He is absorbing. He is a very good listener. When he listens to them, to Radharani, and he absorbs what she has said, then with measured words he will speak to counter, react what she has said. So there is a transcendental spiritual competition. So all this we can see just by having the darshan of the lotus face. Then Srimati Radharani, her lotus, wonderful transcendental dress, her garland, how she is holding. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism we don't have like this. We have the Radharani is like this. Why? Because she is in service of Krishna. She is holding a garland to garland Krishna. Sometimes she is holding some other paraphernalia to serve Krishna, which the Sakhis have given in her hand, prepared it and given. The Das Anudas or Dasi Anudasis. And look at the beautiful countenance of Srimati Radharani. The necklace, the earrings, her hair decorations, her beautiful eyes. Radhika Saroda Indu Nindi Mukhamandali. Sri Sanatana Goswami has described the beautiful face of Srimati Radharani. Nindi Mukhamandali. Her face puts even the shame, the beautiful moon, the most beautiful moon puts shame. And in the Shastras, some great Vaishnava Acharyas read Navanira the Nindita Kanti Dharam. What is the countenance or the color of Krishna? That even puts to shame the most freshly formed cloud. Shyam. The color of the freshly formed cloud is Shyam Varna. But he even puts his beauty so beautiful, Madhuradi Pater Akhilam Madhuram, that he even puts to shame the freshly formed, rain-laden cloud. In Brahma Samhita it is so nicely described. When we are standing in front of the Lord, we should sing such prayers. Venur Konantam Arvindam Dalayataksham. He is holding the flute in his hand, and his eyes are like the petal leaves. Dal means leaves. Dalayataksham. Aksham as eyes. Varhavata Samasita Buddha Sundarangam. His beautiful lotus head is covered with a beautiful peacock feather. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Visesha Shobha. He is beautiful than thousands and thousands of cupids. Such is his beauty. So when we stand in front, we absorb ourselves like Aloka Chandraka Vanmalya Vamshi. Ratnangada Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam. He has got this one mala, beautiful long one mala, garland. Aloka Chandra, one mala. Shamam Tribhanga Lalitam. Our Krishna of Vrindavan is bent in three places. Tribhanga Lalitam. Niyata Prakasham. Always emanating so much Prema Prakash. Another meaning of Prakash here is he manifests his effulgence in the form of his love that he radiates in Vraj. Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Mayame. So, like that, if we take darshan of the Lord, when we close our eyes and when we are chanting, then remember we mentioned yesterday that then the mind is going here and there. So the best way to control is to properly chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare audibly. And we have to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then when we do that properly, Smaranam. So whatever we just saw for the last 1 minute, we can actually meditate on the form of the Lord, on His pastimes, on His Dham, on Vrindavan. So how do we meditate on Vrindavan Dham? So there are two ways: practically going there and going to the different places in Vrindavan where the pastimes of Lord Krishna with His associates happened. But even better is, along with that, if we are fortunate with those devotees who have really understood those pastimes. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has set the criteria. What is the Ekadashi song, commonly known as the Ekadashi song that we sing on Ekadashi? Anybody? Somebody said something? Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajane Anukula. Have you heard of this song? So that is generally sung on the Ekadashi. In Gaudiya line, they sing that because Ekadashi is conducive to bhakti. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajane Anukula. The dust from the lotus feet of the pure Vaishnavas, it's conducive to bhajan, bhajane anukulam. And in that bhajan it says, Madhav Titi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. So Madhav Titi is Ekadashi. Madhav Titi is the Janmashtami. Madhav Titi is Gaur Purnima. Madhav Titi is Ram Navami. Like that, those are Madhav Tithis. So those, if we follow those tithis with devotion, it is the mother of devotion. Madhav Tithi Bhakti Janani. Janani means mother. Bhakti Janani. So in that bhajan he says, whatever is good for our bhakti we must do. It is from Sharanagati. The other day we explained there are 6 branches of Sharanagati. Humility, Dainya, Atma Nivedan, offering everything to Krishna. Goptrite Varan, Krishna is my provider. My Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwaspanan, full conviction that Krishna will always protect me. And number 5 is this particular category wherein the Bhakti Anukul Karya Kareja Svikar. Whatever is good for Bhakti, we will accept. And the 6th one is Bhakti Pratikul Bhav Varjan Angigar. Whatever is not good for Bhakti, we will reject. So in the 5th section of Sharanagati, he has written some bhajans. And in that bhajan, commonly known as Ekadashi bhajan, because it is conducive. Ekadashi is conducive to our Bhakti. So he has composed this bhajan. In that bhajan he says that Gaur Amar Jai Sabsthane Karalo Brahmana Range Sei Sabsthane Heribo Ami Pranay Bhakata Sangye. Very, very important instruction. When we go to Vrindavan, we get so much. There also Maya is present. There is Yoga Maya present and Mahamaya present. Mahamaya is for those who are not devotees. She will capture, distract. All these things will happen. We will not really get the essence. What we will see is the dirty part of Vrindavan. We don't see Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshatriteshu. Because we have not developed those eyes. We have not developed that consciousness. But even though Vrindavan Dham will give utmost benefit to everyone who goes there. In Vrindavan Mahima Amrit, one great Vaishnava Acharya who was actually from South India, who was the brother of Venkat Bhatt. Venkat Bhatt is the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. In Sri Rangam, they were residing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited during his South Indian Padayatra, and he stayed during the monsoon season. Generally sadhus or they don't move in the monsoon season. Wherever they are, they stay. Just like in Naradji's history. The saints came to their home and mother and son They very nicely did seva. They were there for 4 months in the Chaturmas. And finally Naradji, out of excellent service, the sadhus said, yes, you can take whatever is left in my plate. So one very important thing that I would like to everybody should make a note. Unless and until the remnants are offered by that sadhu, one should not take. Rule number 1. We have become very much fanatical where we take the remnants even without permission. If Guru Maharaj says you can take, then you can take. If he does not say, then we should not take. This is the example of the greatest Guru in our line, Naradji. Another thing, what we have found that sometimes out of great sentiment, out of good heart, some devotees pass on the remnants of their Guru to others. That is also not right. They may not have faith in that person. And we force them by saying that this is Mahaprasad, Maha. Person out of respect will take it. But it is not recommended. We find that sentimental, that is why we have to, there is a very fine line between emotion and devotion. Most of us, we act on the platform of emotion, sentimental, without understanding, without reading Shastra. Clearly, that Uchishta Lepan, the words are used in Srimad Bhagavatam, taking the remnants of those sadhus. That's how I became Narad. He said, I was just an ordinary boy. But those sadhus were so pleased during Chaturmas that they offered me their remnants. That means that permission was there. They gave it. So we have to be very, very careful in that terms. Okay, fine. If one is very inclined to take the remnants of their Guru Maharaj, but don't shove it in somebody's hand who is not even a god brother or a god sister, or even within god brothers and god sisters. I don't like to use that word, but just for the practical purpose of understanding. As much faith as you may have in, for example, in your Guru Maharaj, a certain god brother, god sister may not have that same kind of faith. So to force that, and then if that person takes it with some resentment or just out of respect, then out of formality, then it has defeated the purpose of giving those remnants. Remnants means what? The biggest remnants or the prasadam is Harikatha, when we hear from Varishta Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj. That is real remnants. The rest is there, no doubt, but if it is without faith or without permission, then it will not have the desired effect. So please make a mental note and remember this, because I am saying this as it is based on Shastra. Then anybody can do as they like, right? But it's my job to point it out. So why was I mentioning the life of Naradji? Because Naradji is our most exalted Vaishnava in the... So we have to follow in their footsteps. So Bhaktivinoda Thakurji is saying that Gaura Amar, I mentioned Naradji is because, why did I mention him? How did that subject matter come up? No, before that. That was the Venkat Bhatt. Venkat Bhatt I was saying at his house. So Mahaprabhu went, stayed, I was talking about the Chaturmas, and that's how it led to Naradji's Prasanga in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 5 and 6. So Mahaprabhu went to Venkat Bhatt's house, and he was a Sri Sampradaya Brahman. Very, very immaculate in all respects. And he had two more brothers. I forget the name of the other one, but one of the other prominent brother is Prabodhanand Saraswati Thakur. So Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati Thakur, when Mahaprabhu came, Venkat Bhatt had a nice debate that which one is better, Sri Sampradaya or the Gaudiya Sampradaya. And finally he was convinced after Mahaprabhu spoke that even your Lakshmi Devi is so much pativrata, so much she is chaste wife, but she is hankering to go to Vrindavan and serve the gopis who are serving the Krishna of Vrindavan. So like that there was a nice conversation. And finally Venkat Bhatt became a Gaudiya Vaishnava from Sri Sampradaya. And his brother Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. And of course Gopal Bhatta Goswami was very small, about 5 years old. When Mahaprabhu was ready to leave after the 4 months of Chaturmasya, he cried, he was so attached to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, please don't go. So because of this little boy's great determination and love, Mahaprabhu stayed a little more time even after Chaturmas. And when that happened, finally he said that no, right time for me to leave. He said, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, very little boy, said, I want to go with you. So Mahaprabhu said, okay, fine, the time will come. The time will come when you will go to Vrindavan. But right now, you stay with your parents. After you finish all your duties and when your parents are no more, then you can go join me and you can come to Vrindavan. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And in Krishna Leela's pastimes, Sri Radharani's Pran Sakhi or Manjari, known as Guna Manjari. So, Prabodhananda Saraswati, his uncle, he became such a wonderful Gaudiya Vaishnava, and he is none other than Tungavidya Sakhi, one of the Ashtasakhis of Srimati Radharani. So when we go to Vrindavan, let's start a little parikrama. That's how we normally, if we chant the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we can do Vrindavan parikrama based on how many times we can remember. We can get distracted when we take too many photos. Then the photo within the heart, that lens will not open to take the proper picture. I'll give a personal material example in my life. I have an advanced open water ocean scuba diving. So sometimes I go, even now I go, because it is a very serene world underwater. And it is a part of Krishna's creation. And we see so many, in many different parts of the world I've gone diving. And we see so many beautiful Jalaja Navalakshani, 9 lakh different varieties. But maybe a few hundred we can see at one time when we go underwater. And I was so excited when I got my first underwater camera. And I wanted to take so many pictures. And I did take. But in the process, what happened? I was distracted. I could not really concentrate on my air level because we have an air tank. And there's a certain level, when you reach that level, then you're supposed to surface. Otherwise, it is very dangerous. These are some very solid rules that you have to follow. You have to make sure that you follow at least one buddy, meaning one person who is a diver with you. And if you go take photographs here, you go take there, sometimes I would follow a big turtle, simply gliding behind it and wanting to take from different angles. And then what would happen? The rest of the team would be very hazy because they have already gone further. And then I have to catch up. And when you catch up with speed, you lose more air. That means less time underwater. These are some of the laws of physics. The more heavily you breathe, the more energy you spend, the more air you will spend. So those divers who are most experts, they consume minimum air. They have got best pranayam practices. So they can stay underwater more in that limited air tank that they have. So here what I'm trying to bring, the point is, then I stopped taking my camera. And then I really relished the underwater world of Krishna. It was very much relishable that when we saw some sharks, when we saw some nice turtles, so many different types of fishes, very colorful in different parts of the world. Last year I went to Andaman Nicobar. We have a temple there too. So I first find out where our temples are. And then some days we go sightseeing also, Nothing wrong with that. We should not be fanatics. If you want to do something that is sattvic, please do it. Don't try to restrain yourself. And don't think that what others will think. Because if we run too fast, we will fall. So that is why we have to take steady paces. We don't have that vairagya, don't show it. Or don't try to be that. One time Srila Prabhupada was reported in Mayapur, one devotee, some devotees mentioned to Srila Prabhupada, this one devotee is chanting 3 lakh names like Haridas Thakur. And he's sitting in the forest and chanting. And Srila Prabhupada just waved his hand. Like, nonsense. I want to see how many days he's going to do like that, trying to imitate Haridas Thakur. So we should know our capacity. Okay? If we have some sense enjoyment propensity, don't curtail it. As long as it is within the 4 regulative principles, we should be okay with that. That's my personal opinion, and I am also telling you that, occasionally, so my wife, she loves to go around and see things. So while this 12-day tour, especially the person who organized our tours, 2 days he said, Prabhuji, we will organize Bengaluru Yatra. 3 days you go to Mysore. So I will do Katha in Mysore. Also during the daytime we will go around. So nothing wrong with that. If we are advanced, that's a different story. Very advanced, that's a different story. But coming back to Vrindavan, how do you take that in our heart? So when we go to the such places, one of the rules that whenever some devotees ask me, they come, they say, Prabhuji, Vrindavan, take us here, take us there. I said, yes, I don't mind. To the best of my ability, I will. But my first rule is, we are not tourists. I tell them first, before starting the parikrama, our bhav should be devotion. And wherever we go, we sit down on that particular place, like Gaur Amara Jai Sab Sthane Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in that bhajan. Heribo Ami, I will go to those places with who? Not with some panda who is going to charge you 500 rupees. Pranay Bhakata Sanghe. Not with the taxi driver who is simply interested in your money and wants to finish his 8 hours and then come back. No. What is the criteria? To see Vrindavan is to hear from the Pranay Bhakata Sangha, from the devotees who have understood the conjugal love of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, which is very rare. So we have in Vrindavan, there is a window, please close it. Thank you. So, if we become tourists, we will get distracted. If we take a lot of photos, we get distracted. So we have to go with devotees who have that bhav. For example, in our Vrindavan temple, we have His Grace Dinbandhu Prabhu. Have you ever gone with him? Anybody taken parikrama? How wonderful it is. How was your experience, Prabhuji? How was your experience? Very, very amazing. Because from the heart he is speaking about the different pastimes of the Lord. So we have to find such devotees. And if we have that desire, strong desire, we will find such devotees. But if our desire is to just simply roam around and take photographs, we will get definitely benefit, because Vrindavan Dham is very, very beneficial. Knowingly or unknowingly we will get. But if we do it the proper way, then our advancement is guaranteed and it will be very fast. And we will enter into those eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna, just like the Vrajvasis. So Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, he has written some very wonderful books. One is Vrindavan Mahimamrit, and one very other famous book is Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. They are very advanced topics, and that is something that only advanced devotees can explain and advanced devotees can understand. But in the beginning of Vrindavan Mahimamrit, he is saying, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, that who is who in Krishna Leela, Radharani? I just mentioned. Who is Prabodhananda Saraswati? Very nice. Who said that first? Tunga Vidyasaki. Very nice. Tunga Vidya. She is listening properly. That's why that Shravan is important. All of you are also listening, but sometimes our minds are going here and there. Okay? So, when we do proper Shravan, when I was singing, I changed the raga, but most of you all did not pay attention. I had to mention that. That please pay attention to the raga. Because that sweetness has to come when we chant. Sometimes when we extend the just like yesterday that boy, what was his name? Yogesh. So when I say Yogeshwar, and if I say Yogeshwar, and that sweetness, same way, when we are calling out to Radha and Krishna there, in our kirtan, that sweetness must be there. This kirtan thing is not meant for lokaranjanam, not meant to entertain the public. We find even in our movement, there are some great kirtanyas. They wait. How many people are in the hall? They will send one assistant. See how many are there. Then I will make entry. No, that is not our mood. Our mood is even if there is nobody, you sit and do kirtan in front of the Lord. Do it for their pleasure. That should be our mood. Then we should not care, even for the kathakar, one who is speaking, whether there is even one person or 10,000 people. That bhav should be the same. At least there is one person who is interested to hear, then we should have the same enthusiasm. It should not be a quantity game. It should be a quality thing. So, with the blessings of Guru Gauranga, we have followed those principles in our life to the best of our ability. And we are sharing through our own experience. One time, I was in one temple in United States. And it is very rare that you find on a weekday many devotees for Srimad Bhagavatam. Even their residents living in the temple, it surprises me why they don't come. It is Srila Prabhupada's instructions, especially those who are residents of the temple, one has to come, attend the morning program, Mangalarti, Guru Puja, Srimad Bhagavatam. But I've seen that, and I tell this very openly, without any fear. Because I'm hoping that when they listen to these instructions, then their hearts will change and they will follow Prabhupada's instructions. That's only my goal. It is not criticism. It is a constructive observation. So they don't come. Many brahmacharis. And only when they have to give Srimad Bhagavatam class, they will be seen on that day. Otherwise, they are not seen in any Bhagavatam class. Why? That is, in a very subtle way, they are puffed up. And some of them, they make the excuse that there is services. Now, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, we have been in this movement, glorious movement, for about 38 years now. So we have done all kinds of services, depending on the authorities when they have told us. So, done kirtan services, have done cooking even for 500,000 people on Sunday feast. We have also done Pujari Seva, different times. Morning, during the Darshanarti, then during Bhagavatam class, the offering is done. We have done Rajbhog Arti, we have done Utthapan Arti, we have done Shayan Arti, different artis this servant has done. So I know that in the morning, especially in a temple where there is about 20-30 devotees as an example residing, there is only 4 devotees who are doing seva. 2 are cooking and 1 is the pujari. So 3 and maybe another 4th one. Where are the other 26 of them? So they are all making excuses. We have some seva. So that is simply some kind of 2 things we can gather in that. Either they are lazy, they don't want to come, they want to sleep, or they think they know it all. That is a very, very dangerous attitude. Some leaders who lead bhakti vrikshas, this and that, they don't sit in others' lectures. Even if there is a newcomer sitting on this Vyasasan, first pravachan that person is giving, what is that person doing? He is reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. It's Srila Prabhupada's words, Prabhupada's translations, Prabhupada's purport. And then whatever that person is speaking out of that really, something that is for sure, in my personal experience, that I may have never heard before. And that will help me in my spiritual life. So that is also a discipline coming in Bhagavatam class. Sitting, Prabhupada wanted all of us. The most important problem, the most impediment that we have is we do not read and then we do not even hear. Sometimes we say we don't have time to read. Okay, we give you that discount. But hearing, why can't we do that? Now this COVID thing was a good idea at that time online, but COVID has disappeared. Some make this excuse that, I'm in my room and I'm listening to the katha. No. Why? This is personalism. Prabhupada said, everything is a personality in our Vedic culture. Where the river Ganga is a personality, Ganga Devi. Chandras or the moon, there is a Chandra Dev. Surya, or there is a Surya Dev. Right? Krishna has even taken his name, Vivaswan. So, everything is a personality. Prabhupada has said supreme personality of Godhead. Then why are we become impersonal? When we can personally be present, and especially I'm addressing this to, because this is going worldwide. I have over 260 people joining me online. Sometimes they hear the lectures afterwards. So I'm talking about the residents, temples, temple residents. What kind of excuse is this? I'm listening it from my room. No. Personalism. When you come down, when you interact, sit in front of the person speaking, he can see eye to eye. He can tell whether you are understanding or whether he can repeat or by the expressions, by the interest. And the enthusiasm comes from the speaker by looking at the Vaishnavas who are sitting in front. The enthusiasm of Sarva Bhattacharya diminished. If you know that pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 7 days he heard Vedanta from Sri Sarva Bhattacharya in Jagannath Puri. He was supposed, he's Sarva Bhauma Bhattacharya, as the name indicates, that he was a great Bhattacharya. Bhauma means the whole world. Such a learned scholar he was in Jagannath Puri. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri, and when he saw the deities of Lord Jagannath, he was a sannyasi, he had already taken sannyas. And he started dancing crazily in front of Lord Jagannath. And out of ecstasy, he swooned, he fainted. And at the same time, every day, Sarva Bhattacharya with his hundreds of disciples would come visit the deities, take darshan of the deities in Jagannath Puri temple. At that time he saw that there is a young sannyasi, Ek Dandi sannyas. See, just a little extra information I am giving. In our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we take 3 Dandi sannyas. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took 1 Dandi sannyas from the Mayavad Guru, which is very interesting, from Keshav Bharati Goswami. So, and the reason behind it is according to time, place and circumstances, any great personality and even great acharya can change the rules. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, I am simply teaching in the Gurukul as a Grihastha, the children in the Tol. Tol in Bangla means Gurukul, where there is students. I'm teaching them Vyakaran, I'm teaching, because he's known as Nimai Pandit. And he was teaching all these things. But sometimes the students did not heed him very well. Sometimes because he was more like a friend and not like a guru or a teacher in the class. So Srila Prabhupada had said, familiarity breeds contempt. Have you heard this phrase of Srila Prabhupada? As they say, I don't want to say it, but I'll still say it. Ghar ki murgi, dal barabar. So, anybody who is too familiar, we don't have respect for that person. We take that very commonly. So, we take them as very common. So, Mahaprabhu decided now it is time for me, after Srila Ishwar Puri initiated him into the Harinam. He was in ecstasy. And he simply chanted day and night, and he rolled on the ground with tears flowing in his eyes. so much power that he received from Ishwarpuri. Already had it, but to show as an example, he took a guru. So this message is for all those Ritviks. When Lord Krishna, he doesn't need a guru. But in spite of that, Krishna Balaram took a guru, Sandipani Muni. Why? Yadyat Acharya Shrestha. Whatever the leading personalities do, the rest of the crowd will follow. The common people will follow. Lord Ramachandra, he is the personality of Godhead, but he took guru, Vasishtha Muni. And also for learning, he also learned from Vishwamitra Muni. He took guru. He doesn't need guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't need a guru. He is already, in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So who can teach Srimati Radharani? She can teach everyone, including Krishna. So he doesn't need guru. But he took Ishwar Puripad. So Ishwar Puripad told him that just chant Hare Krishna. Don't worry about studying too much. So he says, Guru more murkha dekhiya. My Guru Maharaj, when Sarva Bhattacharya saw him in the temple, fainted, he told his disciples, oh, he is in our parampara, he is a sannyasi. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, coming back to his sannyas, when he decided that now he is going to take sannyas so that he can preach more better. And in our practical experience, all of us can say this, that supposing there might be somebody sitting on this Vyasasana who might be very, very well versed with the scriptures and speaking in devotion. But if a sannyasi comes and speaks, he may not have that erudition. And sometimes, people we have heard in the background saying after the class, not much into it, but they are sitting just out of respect. If we hear that certain Maharaj is coming, even if it's a weekday, the whole hall is full. But if an ordinary devotee comes and give class, because he is not in sannyas vesh, doesn't have much weightage, because that is a psychological thing. So he wanted to preach the holy names and the siddhanta behind it. So he said, now I will take sannyas. He sacrificed his newlywed just a few days with Vishnu Priya. He had married and he left his home in the middle of the night. And he swam across the Ganga. And at that time there were no Gaudiya sannyasis as such. Nobody. So there was one Keshav Bharti Goswami who was a Mayavad. So he immediately shaved his head and he took initiation, the sannyas initiation from him. So now he wore the saffron. He had the Ekdandi sannyas. And then people started paying attention. If a sadhu in a saffron dress sannyasi goes, everybody immediately will bow down. Even today that culture is there in India. Right? So immediately we go to the, we bow down, go to the ground and we bow down. That is the effect of the sannyas ashram. And sannyas ashram is meant for preaching, not for luxury. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has very clearly said in the Chaitanya Charita, Bhalo na peribe, bhalo na khaibe, gramya kotha ba na koribe. Do not wear good clothes, do not eat good foodstuffs, and do not speak anything outside of Krishna Katha, Gramya Katha, frivolous talks. Do not do all these things. That is the position of a sannyasi. That's why they command real respect. But even the dress commands respect. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and then he went to Puri. And when he saw Lord Jagannath for the first time, he went into ecstasy and he swooned. He fainted. Sarva Bhattacharya came with his disciples and said, Arey, he seems to be ours. Revive him. So they sprinkled some water and they revived Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from his ecstasy of fainting. And he said, you are a very young boy. And he was only 24 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that time. Have you learned Vedanta? Have you learned Vedas? Come, my dear boy, I will teach you. All his disciples were shocked. Such a great Acharya, directly asking him to learn from him. Such a great privilege in one sense, especially in the eyes of all the other disciples and all the followers. So at that time, he started speaking that you are crazily dancing. That is not our sampradaya of sannyasis. We learn Vedant. We learn the Vedas. Do you know that? So Mahaprabhu took a very, very humble position. He says, you are like my elder, like my grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti. So please instruct me. Not that he said, I know everything. Although he knows everything. Sarva Veda Vittam. That Bhagavad Gita, that shloka is that he is the knower of all the Vedas. And I am to be known. That what is that word? Sarvasya Riddhi Tishtam. Tishtam. Yes. Hriday, slowly. Yesterday I said that. Prabhuji, we don't need to be parrots. Okay. I have forgotten that slok, but I'm reviving by, if you recite it nicely, so I can explain the meaning. So what is the second part of the sloks? Sarvasya Hridayam Tishta Vedesha Sarva Veda Aham Veda Vitta. I am the knower of the Vedas and I am to be known by studying the Vedas. I am to be known by studying the Vedas. And I am the knower of Vedas. Krishna says that. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a very humble position and told Sarvabhaumacharya, please instruct me. I am happy to be instructed. So for 7 days, constantly he instructed him, and there was no expression on Mahaprabhu's face. Simply like a very, very good boy, he sat and simply looked at Srila Sarvabhaumacharya, listening to everything he had to say for 7 days on the commentary on the Vedanta. On the 7th day, Srila Sarvabhaumacharya, who was a Brahmavadi, more or less like a Mayavadi, a little bit better than a Mayavadi, but still not believing in the form of the Lord. And they only believe in the form of the Lord in the initial stages to teach their disciples, the Pancha Upasana that they do. Once you have gone beyond the Pancha Upasana, that Pancha Upasana includes deity worship. So the Mayavadis generally in the beginning stage they say we do deity worship. Later on, when we have completely been absorbed, then we don't need deities. Then I am that Brahman. I am he, so aham. I am. They merge into the Brahman. So that's why they are called Brahmavadis. So he was a Brahmavadi, not even a Vaishnava. But he was a big scholar, Sarvabhauma. The whole world. Such command he had on the Vedas. But from which perspective? From the perspective of Mayavadis. From the perspective of Brahmavadis, not from the perspective of Vaishnavas. So he heard, and then Sarvabhaumacharya kind of got tired and a little bit irritated. He said, for 7 days I am speaking constantly to you Veda. You are not showing any expression, like when I am speaking something, our Brajesh Prabhu is nodding. So now I understand that he is showing interest. He has understood the subject matter that I am speaking. When people nod, even you don't have to say anything, but we can see from the eyes or from the nodding of the head, like that. So you are not, how do I understand that you have understood what I have explained? You are not even asking me any questions. So why did I come to this topic of Sarvabhaumacharya? So I came from Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur. Okay? It is kind of, similar situation. So, finally Mahaprabhu opens his mouth and he says, no, you have said whatever you have said. No, you tell me. I want to know if you have understood. 7 days, am I wasting my time? That was his indication. So he said, yes. No, I heard. Okay, tell me what you heard. So Mahaprabhu mentioned all the important points. And then he mentioned, but here, my dear Acharya, there is a little bit of a difference of opinion. Very politely he said. He said, okay, difference of opinion. So you think there is another meaning? explain. That's a verse that I think it was the Atmaram verse or something like that. So he said, this is the meaning that I have understood, Mahaprabhu. And he explained 17 different ways that same word that even Sarvabhautacharya had not touched upon. That same word from the Shastra. And Sri Sarvabhautacharya was shocked. This young boy heard everything attentively. Everything that I said, he mentioned everything, and then on top of that, he found my mistake. And not only that, he explained this verse in 17 different ways. So then he immediately surrendered. And at that time when he surrendered, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him his Shadabhu Bhuja Darshan, 6 arms. Shada means 6 and Bhuja means arms. So there he showed his sannyas darshan with one kamandal and his danda, 2 arms. 2 arms he showed the bow and the arrows at Lord Ramachandra. And the other 2 arms was the chakra and the gada of Vasudeva Krishna, that he is Krishna. And at that time Sarvabhautacharya became a pure Vaishnava. And he composed so many wonderful bhajans glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So many wonderful bhajans he has, Chaitanya Sishtastakam and all that. He has glorified Mahaprabhu like anything. He has glorified Advaita Acharya in Advaita Ashtakam beautifully. Hunkar garjanadi ahoratra sadaguna ha Krishna Radhika Nath Prarthana Adi Bhavana Dhupale Pachandana Di Bhavana Ha Sita Nath Advaita Charnaravinda Bhavana. Glorifying Advaita Acharya, associate of Mahaprabhu. Nava Gauravaram Nava Pushpasaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. Sarvabhautacharya has composed Mahaprabhu's beautiful song that glorifies Mahaprabhu's features, that glorifies Mahaprabhu's compassion, that glorifies Mahaprabhu's preaching in us. He was already a scholar. All he did is his scholarship, he dovetailed to Krishna consciousness. Our greed, we dovetail it to Krishna consciousness. If there is anger, we can serve in Krishna consciousness. Not for our sense gratification, but to serve Krishna consciousness. So many qualities that we already possess, we simply can change its direction towards Krishna consciousness. So that great Brahmavadi, Mayavadi personality became a pure Vaishnava. Same way, Prabodhananda Saraswati, he became a pure Vaishnava. And then he composed this Vrindavan Mahimamrita that has got about 175 or 180 pages. So in the beginning, few verses, he is saying that, I'm reading this actually, meditating on the lotus feet of Sri Radha Murali Manohar, placing myself at the dust of Lord Chaitanya's feet. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who was responsible for bringing him into pure Vaishnavism. And respectfully offering obeisances to the great devotees of the Lord, who are so many oceans of transcendental virtue, I shall now happily begin to praise the transcendental opulences of Vrindavan. How to take Vrindavan in our heart? This is the prayers that we should be aware of, at least the gist of it. I am not strong enough, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur says, to go to the far shore of the great nectar of ocean of Vrindavan glories. I have no capability. Krishna is unlimited. Sri Radhika Madhavyor Madhurya Apar Leela. Sri Radhika Madhavyor Apara Madhurya. What does apar mean? Unlimited. Unlimited. So Vrindavan Dham is unlimited. Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur is saying that this is unlimited. I cannot even even, I'm not qualified even to go to the far shore of the nectarian ocean of Vrindavan. Vrindavan glories. Who can go there? However, because I love Vrindavan, I will now dip in that ocean. So we should, and this is how we take Vrindavan in our hearts. We should fall in love with Vrindavan. That love should be there. Prabhupada Saraswati, and therefore we have to study the prayers of such Vaishnavas. He's saying that therefore, because out of love, although I'm not qualified, some people may say, that not all pure sannyasis or not all are like Prabhupada that are sitting on the Vyasasana, and that includes myself. I've got many inebrities in me. I'm not perfect in many respects. I'm being very honest. But because for the love of preaching, I try to glorify as much as I can the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas. Similarly, because of the love of Vrindavan, he says, because I love Vrindavan, I will now dip into that ocean. I pray that this endeavor may become successful and bring an auspicious result. See how this is Mangalacharan. These slokas, I did not read the slokas in Sanskrit. I just simply because of the time constraint. Before starting anything auspicious, we should never think that I am capable. No. Dunga Vidya Sakhi here. She is the most capable. In fact, she is the most expert musician. Sometimes when there is some dispute, they make her the judge. She is the guru of the gopis also. And sometimes she acts as a guru for Srimati Radharani. She takes that position. Radha, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. And Radharani says, of course, my dear Tunga Vidya Sakhi, I will do it. So, such a personality showing so much humility. And then he goes on to say, oh Vrindavan, please reveal in my heart. How many of us are praying like that? Vrindavan, the holy Dham, we mentioned that yesterday maybe 3-4 times. The holy names, the Leelas of the Lord, the paraphernalia, the transcendental qualities are Sri Krishna and his associates, non-different. So when he's praying to Vrindavan, Vrindavan is an expansion. There are 3 principal Shaktis in the spiritual world that Krishna has, or Krishna is the source. Krishna himself is the Samvit Shakti. Samvit, Samyak Vita iti Samvit. He knows everything. Srimad Bhagavatam in the very first verse, Om Janmadiyasya Yato Anvayat Itaratascha Artheshu Abhigya Swarat. Abhigya. He knows everything directly and indirectly. So he is Samvit. He knows everything because he is the Paramatma in everybody's heart. Samvit. He knows everything, every atom in this universe. What is that verse in the Brahma Samhita? He is present in every atom. Anda, Anucha. Right? That verse is present. So he is Samvit Shakti. And for the purpose of creation, spiritual worlds and material worlds, he actually simultaneously expands into 2 more Shaktis. On his left is Haladini Shakti Srimati Radharani, his pleasure potency. On the right, the Sandhini Shakti, Lord Balram. And through Lord Balram, he creates all the spiritual worlds, including Mathura, Dwarka, Vaikuntha. Through Lord Balram, all the avatars, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. In Mathura, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. The second quadruple expansion in Dwarka. And from that second quadruple expansion, that Sankarshan, or it is known as Mahasankarshan, the 3 Vishnus, Mahavishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Sirodakshaya Vishnu, those expansions happen. And so many guna avatars, they are from those, emanating from especially Sirodakshaya Vishnu. So they are the sub-expansions of expansion of the expansion of the expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Krishna. That is why Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Rupa Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Not only in the material world, but also in the spiritual worlds. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, that Govinda Adi Purush, that personality. So, here he is praying to Vrindavan Dham, who is an expansion of Krishna. See, do we see it like that when we go to Vrindavan? Next time we go, we should see. That is why we should never, in Parikrama, when we start, there are some very good rules. We should perform as much austerities as possible. If we are doing the Chaurasik Mandal Parikrama, we should perform as many austerities, no shoes. Of course, if somebody is sick, if they have diabetes, then shoes are okay. But if somebody is healthy, no shoes. One should not wear. Vrindavan Dham, even when we are walking, a lot of sadhus, even today, they don't wear shoes or chappals. So much respect, because it is Sri Krishna and Krishna's associates. The expansion. No spitting. People spit. Some cough happens. The best thing is to just ingest it. If that may happen suddenly. You have a cough bout and then cough comes out, mucus comes out from your throat. Don't spit it. That consciousness should be there. This is Sri Krishna. That's how we take Vrindavan in our hearts. Prabhupada Saraswati says, day and night I glorify Vrindavan, which is filled with wonder of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna's pastimes. Sri Radhika Madhavya Apara Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namna. Not Vatsalya Leela, not Sakhya Leela, not Shantaras Leela, but Madhurya Leela. See, that is what our Gaudiya Vaishnavas are, but we don't think. When we sing, we become parrots. Pat, 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 pat. No, absorb. While doing kirtan also, absorb yourself. Get into that mode. That can only come if we practice it nicely. He says, think of Vrindavan with love. He says in the fifth slok, think of Vrindavan with love. Not some ordinary tirtha, roll in its dust. But we think 20 times, oh, why should I go down? It's so dirty. Roll in its dust. Love is ardently present. Whether the moving or the non-moving residents, very important instructions. We should respect them all. Worship Sri Radha's birthplace. So here we find that the glimpse of Dungavidya Sakhi, because she is one of the Priya Narma Sakhis of Srimati Radharani. So she doesn't say worship Mathura, the birthplace of Krishna. He is saying worship Radharani's birthplace is which place? Raval Dham. Yes. So worship. So Vrindavan means the whole entire region is also called Vrindavan, Vrajbhumi. And Vrindavan is also forest within Vrajbhumi, out of the 12 forests. With all your heart, take shelter of Sri Vrindavan. How beautiful these instructions are. Take shelter. Just like we take, that person, such and such a person has taken shelter of such and such guru. Shelter. So we should take shelter of Sri Vrindavan Dham. That is being instructed here very clearly. The best of all the holy places. In the Vedanta, if the Vedanta, coming back to all scholars who want to do this course, that course, and what did I explain yesterday? If we do these courses in ISKCON, what is the main reason we do it? Who will explain that quickly?
We have to become humble.
Very nice. Our mood should be that we should become humbler. And what is the second point? Are we getting closer to Krishna and the Vaishnavas? Our third point, are we attaining the proper Vaishnava Seva? Bhav. Because once I am a scholar, everybody will serve me. Why I should serve others? And some of you Matajis don't even let me serve you all. But I want to really serve. I see that so much with love. I want to thank all those who have prepared for me and my wife some breakfast, some lunch. They're bringing, we don't even know, I have not even seen their faces. Somebody brings juice with so much love and won't even let us pick up the plate. Even all we like to serve. At least that consciousness should be there. Instead of, no, you take my dirty plate. Order. The other day I was in, 9 days ago I was in Jewish ISKCON. And one white devotee, who happens to be Prabhupada disciple, unfortunately his behavior was not proper Vaishnava, in my personal opinion. He finished his prasadam in the prasadam hall and he ordered somebody, you'll take care of my plate, right? Is this the way to talk? Even if you want somebody to take care of your plate, to wash it or whatever, Prabhuji, can you please, I have to go somewhere, I'm short of time. You don't mind washing my plate or putting my plate in the right place? So that phobia is there. Even Prabhupada disciples have that. I'm Prabhupada disciple. That is also ahankar. But Prabhupada never felt like that. He always felt, he never took credit. He always gave it to his Guru Maharaj. And his Guru Maharaj, when his own disciples bowed down to him, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, you know what he used to utter? In a very soft voice in Sanskrit, he used to say, Daso Asmi, I am your servant. He told his own disciples that. Look at the humility, but externally he was like a thunderbolt. Where it was needed for correction, nobody could look straight into his eyes because of the purity. It is said, we have heard that from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's disciples, other than Srila Prabhupada. That nobody could look into his eyes. Purity is the force, Prabhupada said. But humility does not surpass that. It's the highest. Because they are direct servant of Srimati Radharani. And Radharani takes only those persons very close to her if they are very humble. And those persons who have that humility attitude, they learn even more humility from Srimati Radharani. And that is why Krishna is crazy after her. It is what, besides all the other good qualities she has, the highest quality that she has is humility. Although she may externally show that I'm not pleased with you, Krishna, go away from here, don't come back, I don't want to see you. Like how sometimes children do. No, So Radharani also expresses that. That is called man. It's a delineation of prema. We all say in ISKCON, what is the highest goal? What would you like? Please bless me with Krishna prema. But what kind of Krishna prema? Krishna prema in Vraj has got many different types of Krishna prema. The prema of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai is described as madhusne, like the honey. The love, the prema of the coward boys of Vrindavan is known as snigdha sneha. Snigdha means soft like ghee. And then the gopis of Vrindavan, they express different kinds of prema. One is known as pranaya, deep attachment to Krishna. Then the other one, mainly Srimati Radharani and her Ashtasakis, they get that bhav that is known as man. Man means, in Hindi we say, no, wo man mang raha hai. You understand? He is asking for respect. But this is transcendental. So, when they are upset at Krishna, and Krishna, Radharani doesn't give him darshan, then he goes to Lalita. Lalita says, no, you don't come to me. Then he goes to Vishaka. Vishaka, can you convince Radharani? No, please don't. Out of here. You have given enough pain to her. She's crying. He goes to every gopi in the Swapaksha group. There are 4 kinds of gopi, by the way, in Vrindavan. If you want to make a note, you can make. One is, the categories is Swapaksha gopis. Swapaksha means one owns gopi, the camp of gopis of Srimati Radharani. Then, there is another camp of gopis known as Vipaksha gopis that are opposite to the camp of Srimati Radharani. And the examples are Chandravali, Shaibya, Padma. Krishna also visits them and they keep him more so that deliberately he will be late in meeting Radharani. Because Krishna is sometimes very innocent. Oh, I have to go. I promised Radharani I'm going to meet her and it's already time. Oh, Krishna, please sit more with us. Here, let me give you some more Amrut Keli, some kheer. It's prepared so nicely. Padma made it. You have to taste this. So then one kheer bowl, it takes time to eat that. And take more. Like that, they keep Krishna more and more and more deliberately. Vipaksha. Opposition party. That is called Vipaksha. They keep Krishna. And then Krishna then finally realizes, oh, I'm so late. And he runs. He's sweating. And he's trying to meet Radharani. And Radharani, 2 hours late, she's already upset. She's crying. He has no value for me. He's going to the other. And that is, we just sang that. This is very high bhav. But I just for an informational level, we should understand it. Realization will come in some lifetime. Possibly not even this lifetime, depending on how good we perform our sadhana. And when we will enter Raganuga Bhakti, then we will get full realization. So, we sang right now, this is fully in Raganuga Bhakti, this song that was sung, Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan. Dina Krishna Dasa Koe Nam Sankirtan. Krishna Das has composed this wonderful Rasik Bhajan. So he says in the second last verse, Jai Jai Ujjwala Rasa, Sarva Rasa Sar, Par Kiya Bhave Jaha Vrajeta Prachar. So what is that? All glories to that Ujjwal Ras. That Ujjwal Ras is Madhurya Ras of the gopis. That Ujjwal Ras is not Vatsalya Ras of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai, not the rasa of the friendship of Sridham, Subal, Madhumangal, etc. Ujjwal Ras basically last, Krishnadas is saving the best, bringing out the bhav, even after the Ras Leela. Jai Jai, Ras Mandala Jaya, Jaya Radha Shyam, Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela, Sarva Manoram. And after that he is saying, Jai Jai Ujjwala Rasa. Because after Ras Leela comes separation. So I don't have time to explain all this. And in separation they even love Krishna more, like the Gopi Geet. They are crying in separation. And that crying and separation, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, please make note of this, those who have notebooks. What is the difference? There are so many nice bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. Even within Vrindavan, we are not talking about Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. We are not talking about those. We are talking about the Vallabh Sampradaya, Nimbark Sampradaya, the Harivansh Sampradaya. They are all, their acharyas were all pure devotees. But what is the difference between them and us? We have to understand. That is why one should not go anywhere just to listen katha in Vrindavan. I made that mistake personally. Many, many years I went and heard any sadhu speaking in Vrindavan. I would simply sit down, even if in the dust, and listen to them for hours. Even, let me give this personal example. And this is just an eye-opener. Because sometimes some devotees confide me in personally. So hopefully this can clear up something in your hearts. Nowadays this Premanand Maharaj has become very famous. You all have heard of him, right? And he is a wonderful Vaishnava, undoubtedly. And my home was located exactly opposite his ashram, not the present one. It was called Hit Dham. Around the corner, not too far, only maybe 200 steps away. And every morning he used to speak from Prabodhanand Saraswati's Rasik scriptures, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, Vrindavan Mahimamrit, from which I read a few verses. And he somehow or the other has got that grace. He came from Banaras about 16 years ago. He was more or less a Ram Bhakta. But somehow or the other, when he came to Vrindavan, he got in touch with some Sri Harivansh Vaishnavas, and he practiced very ardent sadhana. And he learned many, many Vaishnava scriptures in the Hitvansh, in the Harivansh Sampradaya. They call that Harivansh, they call them Harivansh Mahaprabhu. In the Vallabh Sampradaya, they call Vallabhacharya Mahaprabhu. And in our Sampradaya, we call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he is the only Mahaprabhu. Also in Jagannath Puri, they call Lord Jagannath Mahaprabhu, the Odisha devotees, right? So Mahaprabhu, in one sense, it means one great personality is Mahaprabhu. So for us, the greatest personality is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in any case, he studied all the scriptures and everything, very erudite. His memory is also very sharp. Amazing. Anybody hears him will get attracted. And I got attracted. And at that time only 15, 20 devotees were coming. I'm talking about 20 years ago. Later on, as the crowds gathered, and with the multimedia, some of them were like we have in ISKCON, engineers and doctors, IT people, they were also attracted to his katha. And they became his devotees and they used their skills to promote him online. And anybody who has got an amazing presence where millions of views are there automatically becomes famous, whether good or bad. If their presence is there online with so many multi-million views, nowadays that is the trend. That's how you become famous. So somehow or the other, he became very famous. Even today, when I go to the temple early in the morning, I leave my home at about 2 a.m. to go to the temple, which is only maybe 7-minute walk. And by 2:15 latest, I'm in Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi. And I try to finish all my good rounds sitting in one place in Vrindavan. And that is why I said good rounds are very important. And when I'm going there, I have to pass through that area where the Bhaktivedanta hospital is. And across it is Kunjakeli, his ashram. And devotees are lined up all the way on Parikrama Marg. Some of them, they sleep overnight. And then there's a turn going to Sandruk Road. They are lined up there. And Premanand Maharaj comes out early in the morning at about 3:15 he comes out. And he walks to his ashram, which is known as Kunjakeli. And thousands of devotees are there. Simply, sometimes I have to fight my way through going, because I walk to our temple. So, I have to fight my way through to just get across that section. But here is what I realized over a period of time. That in Vrindavan so many speakers are there. But, yes, okay. Yeah, thank you. No problem. Hare Krishna. So in Vrindavan, there are many sadhus and Vaishnavas. But the question is, are they right for us? And how we can ask this question is what our acharyas have taught us. Meaning our Gaudiya acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, all the way to the 6 Goswamis, leading to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in our Sampradaya, every morning and some temples every evening, what we perform is Tulsi Aarti. They don't do Tulsi Aarti. They don't take shelter of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They take directly shelter of Radha. Then when they get initiated, they give, that Premanand Baba gives to anyone who is interested in taking initiation, he directly gives Radha Mantra. Now, think about this. And I am willing to have a heart-to-heart friendly discussion with anybody from that Sampradaya, and which I have had before also. One time, my shawl or my uttariya was a little torn, so on the road only there is one tailor who sits with his little sewing machine. So he is from that Sampradaya, from Premanand Baba. So I stood there, and another Premanand Baba Sishya came and told that, Baba, can you sew this for me? So Baba said, and he was very good in that respect. He came first, you will have to wait. After I sew his chadar, I can take care of yours. So he waited for a few minutes. So I asked him this question with a lot of respect. That Prabhu, please tell me, what is the highest goal that you all... Because you remember I told that yesterday also, when I went to the interfaith meetings, whether it was somebody from Islam faith or Christian faith, I always inquired that what is the highest goal, or how do you get there? What does your religion say? So I asked him that question. He got very upset. You ISKCON people will not understand. That's the first thing. He shook his hands like that. You ISKCON people will not understand. So I said politely, Prabhu, that's why I'm asking this question. Maybe you can help me understand. He says, no. I was also in ISKCON before. and I took shelter of Premanand Baba. You have to read books like Rasa Sudhanidhi and all these books, and then you have to understand Manjari Bhav, and then you will be coming to this point. So then even the tailor who was also the disciple of Premanand Baba was looking like that. He says, I was such and such in America, in this temple I was president. I was acting as temple commander, and I know how ISKCON functions. He was not willing to listen to, he didn't even give me a chance, and then out of frustration he walked away. Like I spoiled his day. What I did is I simply wanted to ask him that what does your sampradaya teach? So then I had a discussion with the other disciple, the tailor. So this is not what, people just come and they take diksha, etc., without even controlling their senses. So Radha Mantra or Radharani's name is not so cheap. It's not so cheap. Otherwise, think about this. Very simple. And these instructions I hope you all can take to your heart. In the Hare Krishna Mahamantra I explained yesterday, Radharani's name is not there, very clear. In Srimad Bhagavatam, her name is not there. It's incognito. Only the pure Rasik Vaishnavas can recognize that Srimati Radharani is speaking. Like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, like Sridhar Swami. His commentaries, our Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada used to further explain. Here it means that Srimati Radharani is speaking. No name is given. Why? Because Radharani is so humble. She doesn't want her name to come forward. She wants everybody else, all the gopis, or all the Swapaksha gopis and Manjari. So I said 4 gopis, let me finish that first. Swapaksha, I explained Vipaksha, and then there is 2 other sets of gopis or groups known as Tatastha, and the 4th one is Surud. So the Tatastha and Surud are almost same qualities. They are equal to both the groups. They are friendly to both, to Vipaksha and Swapaksha. And one of the examples of a Tatastha Gopi is Yamuna Devi, the river Yamuna or Yamne Maharani. So she gives shelter to all, in spite of which group they are from. That's one example that I immediately, and there are a few other examples that I don't recollect. So anyways, coming back to the point of Premanand Maharaj and their preaching. So, Radharani is not pleased if we take the name of Radha, or that too consistently in the form of a mantra. No. Sometimes, even Prabhupada, when he was in Vrindavan it is the habit of everyone, rickshawala, somebody who has a store, and Jai Radhe. But Prabhupada used to reply, Hare Krishna. Because Radharani, we are not sahajas. She is the Adhishtadi Devi of Vrindavan. Even Krishna falls at her feet. Jayadeva Goswami has explained in his Gita Govinda. So much. Krishna wants the qualities of Srimati Radharani. That is why he became Mahaprabhu. He did not want the qualities of any of his sakhas or any of the parental devotees. Who? He wanted the quality of Srimati Radharani in the Vipaksha group. He didn't want the qualities of Chandravali from the Vipaksha group. He wanted Srimati Radharani and the qualities of the Manjaris present in the Swapaksha group. That's why he came as Mahaprabhu. We have to think about these things. As long as it stays in the back of our head, slowly it will, when we meditate on these topics, that greed will develop and Krishna will make that arrangement. So Radha Nam, just to give it to anybody and everybody, first of all, is not what Srimati Radharani wants. And there's no more better authority than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never chanted Radha Radha. Never. In fact, when Rai Ramananda, in his conversation on the banks of the Godavari in Vidyanagar, when he was speaking, when Mahaprabhu asked him, tell me what is the highest goal of human life, and please substantiate with examples from Shastra. Obviously, he is Vishakha Sakhi. Just like Prabodhananda Saraswati, he is Tunga Vidya Sakhi. He is not going to give some nonsense. But just for us, reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is telling the devotees, whenever you preach, make sure you preach in as it is based on Shastra. Don't speculate. So he said, he started quoting verses from Bhagavad Gita. Yat karosi yadasnasi verse, whatever you do, you offer it to Krishna. Mahaprabhu said, Iho bahya, aage kaho. This is external, tell me more. Then he goes to some important verse like Brahma bhuta prasanna atma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktir labhate param. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Iho bahya. This is external. Are Baba, all the symptoms of the pure devotee are mentioned. Brahma bhuta prasanna, one who is situated on the realized platform, with never hankers after any material things. Na sochati, doesn't lament after anything. Na kankshati, doesn't hanker after anything. Sama sarveshu bhutashu, looks about everybody equally. Mad bhakti labhate param. That personality gets my pure devotee. Labhate param. Bhakti labhate param. So what's wrong in that verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not really approve? So the explanation is given because the word Brahmabhut comes. So there are so many Mayavadis who take that Brahmabhut as themselves, who have merged into Brahman. And those who are Mayavadis merged into the Brahman are always Prasannatma. They are always happy because they are beyond the three modes of material nature. So that clarity was not there in the verse. So he said, Iho bahi aage kaho. Then the big bomb falls. The best sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya. Vapas Rajdhani Express. No, we want to become Punjab Mail. When it comes to reciting slokas. Sarva dharman parityajya. Maam sharanam vraja. Aham tam sarva papebhyo. Mokshasyami. There's so much love we should have, even when we are reciting slokas. Then we can take Vrindavan in our hearts. So even there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Rai Ramananda, Iho bahya aage kaho. That's a shock. Big shock. Which is the best sloka. Everybody wants that when I can completely surrender to Krishna. And Krishna says, Aham tam sarva pav. Don't worry, Arjun, fight. You think that there will be sinful reactions? I will take care of them. Ma sucha, don't fear. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like the last two words. Ma sucha. Because after speaking the whole Bhagavad Gita, as Paramatma in his heart, he could still feel Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna could still feel that there's slight reservation. That what will happen still, should I fight, not fight? I will incur sinful reactions. This is the explanation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Prabhupada. So Mahaprabhu has to guarantee, do not fear at the end. Go ahead. Amazing, huh? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like it from his perspective, from the Raganuga perspective. Of course, from our perspective, it's perfect. Don't think I'm saying don't read Bhagavad Gita. No. Don't. Not at all. Always read Bhagavad Gita nicely. And then come into the Raganuga Bhakti. Then he goes into speaking about the Vanaprastha, Sthanistita Studigatam Tanova Manovir, the 10th canto, verse. That wherever you are situated, always take to Krishna consciousness with your heart, mind and soul. But there also Mahaprabhu found a little weakness. I don't have time to explain because I already got a note. So then he goes further. He said, Aage kaho, tell me more. So he goes into explaining the Dasyaras. And then a slight smile comes on Mahaprabhu's face, but not fully smiling. Then he says, Aage kaho. So then he talks about Vrindavan and the friendship, the friends of Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's smile widens. Nice. Please tell me more. He didn't say that it is external. He said, please tell me more. He didn't use the word Iho bahya. He said, please tell me more. Then he talks about the devotees like Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, Upananda, Nanda, all those Varishta Vaishnavas, elderly personalities who give love to Krishna as their child. And Krishna's, Mahaprabhu's smile even further widened. And then when he came to the bhav of the gopis of Madhurya Rasa, Mahaprabhu was so happy, so happy. And then amongst the gopis he started describing the qualities of Srimati Radharani. And you know what did Mahaprabhu do? Put his hand and covered his mouth. Say no more. So here we find why I am bringing all this into the picture is Radharani's name is not cheap. It's okay occasionally in the kirtan we say, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Enough. No more overdoing. Because that is not the recommended in our sampradaya. She is not cheap. If we have that bhav, keep it within us. Because there are so many people who may not have that raganuga bhav, and we give them that, then that will become an anartha. It will boomerang. They do not do Ekadashi. You will be shocked to know. Why? The explanation that I was given by some of his disciples is we are already on the Raganuga platform. We have already been given the Manjari Diksha, Radha name, so we do not follow Vaidhi Bhakti rules. And we can see that man got frustrated with all that yellow clothes and all that Vrindavan dust, just when I asked him a simple question, and with a lot of humility, you will not understand, get out, I know you ISKCONites. So he blasphemed ISKCON. You think Srimati Radharani is going to be pleased? No. So therefore, the conclusion is, from my personal experience, I stopped going and listening to anyone outside of ISKCON, outside of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And everything is given in our books. Everything. The Samam Bonam, if we meticulously study Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's purports also brings some Raganuga Bhakti components in it. As we read the Bhaktivedanta the commentaries. Srimad Bhagavatam, through his Bhaktivedanta commentaries, it is there. And what to talk about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's nothing to do, but fully it's the service of Sri Radha. That's the ultimate goal of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So who said our Prabhupada only gave us Kakhaga or ABCD? But because we do not have any idea, we have not entered that phase, we are not able to give them rebuttals or give them a proper answer. So never leave ISKCON. Our Guru Maharaj, Nityalala Pravesh Bhakti Charu Swami, used to say at the time of initiation, what are the 4 regulative principles? So the devotees would recite. And now the 5th one, make a promise that you will never leave ISKCON. So that is our divine grace. For us, when Yamuna Mataji said that after you go, because there are other Gaudiya Vaishnavas who are claiming that we can give you more ras, you come to us. Your Prabhupada has not given you enough. He has only given ABCDs. So Prabhupada, how we can find that Raganuga Bhakti guidance? And it is said that we have to take it from a Vrajvasi. And Prabhupada with great humility said, I am that Vrajvasi. So you follow my books, my instructions. No need to hear here and there. I am telling you from practical experience. Devotees, I heard so many sadhus. They are all bona fide in their own way, but not bona fide enough for our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when you do not perform Ekadashi. When Bashla Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is Sakshat Kamla Manjari, says in that bhajan, Prati Divase Parama Sukhe, I will every day perform all those activities, include Ekadashi whenever that comes, with a lot of love and with Param Sukh, not with my face, oh, tomorrow is Ekadashi. No, Parama Sukhe. These are the words he uses in that bhajan. So if Kamla Manjari says that yes, we have to do Ekadashi, then we have to do Ekadashi. I don't care who else says what. For Radha Krishna there is no Ekadashi. It's true. For the Astasakis there is no Ekadashi. But are we at that stage? Have we? We cannot control our senses. Prabhupada is saying, what kind of sadhus there? Little bit pain in their tooth and they are going, running and crying to the dentist. 5 minutes extra, they cannot wait to use the bathroom. They cannot control their senses. and they want Manjri Bhav. They want to take Diksha at Radhakund. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warned us that it is not Radhakund for those persons, it is Narakund, even though they are visiting Radhakund. So Srila Prabhupada warned, no, please follow this process. It's amazing. Whatever I am speaking, and I'm assuming that you all have shown some affection and love towards me, and you like what I'm speaking, everything is there. That is in the proper system, not crossing it, within our Gaudiya line. And that is why I always pray before I start, in my mind or sometimes loudly, that whatever I speak, may it come out as it is to please our Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Guru work. No speculation, nothing that suits the others. It suits them, well, good. But to us, our perfect example is Mahaprabhu. Our perfect examples as Rupa Goswami, Rupanugas. Our perfect example is His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Make sense? So that's how you take the many things. I could go on till the evening talking about Vrindavan. I was just thinking this morning, what will I be speaking? I had no idea. And now so many things are manifesting, but unfortunately, this red signal has come. So I have to stop. Thank you all very much for attending. Tomorrow will be my last session here at KR Puram. So I'm very grateful to the love, affection that you all have bestowed on me and my wife. Wonderful seva, opening up your house, etc. Mataji, and all the Matajis who have kindly cooked for us. Sorry, I don't remember the names, but please accept my humble obeisances, accept my thankfulness, my gratitude to all of you. Yes, Mataji. Loudly, because I won't be able to hear otherwise. Is there a second microphone or we don't have it? Okay, never mind. Speak loud. You have it handy?
No, it's okay. That is.
Okay.
Prabhuji, you really opened my eyes from yesterday's class. How to be observing Krishna consciousness step by step?
Sorry, how to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness?
Step by step.
Step by step.
No, she's continuing.
Oh, okay.
Step by step. Yesterday you told about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When I heard class, for 2 days it will be applicable. Again, third day I will follow.
It's okay. If it goes away, as soon as it went away, it will also come back because you have heard it. Things we hear, especially in Krishna consciousness, are stored. That is Krishna's special mercy. Although we may forget for temporarily, but it will come. It will come back. And the fact is that you are acknowledging that it will go away. I'm fearful. Krishna has made a note of that. And he will see how determined you are to pursue it. Not just for one blip, like a wave goes up. How long does it take for the wave? It comes within like 20 seconds or 2 seconds, and then it comes down within 2 seconds. So our waves are there in the sadhak's Vaidhi Bhakti. A lot of waves are there. But we should not be deterred by it. Just like right now we are all chanting in Namaprad. But Prabhupada has said, our Acharya said, Rupa Goswami said, keep chanting. It will take us to Namabhas, to the shadow of the pure name. And ultimately it will take us to Shuddha Nam. So keep that thought. If you wrote it down, open the book and say, Krishna, please open more doors. Krishna, let me chant nicely so that I will be able to understand these subject matters. And those who chant nicely will never forget the essence. Never. Guaranteed. They may not remember every word to word, or they may not remember every sloka to sloka, but they will never forget the essence. The sar. We have to become sar-grahi Vaishnavas. So it will come, Mataji. And I will pray for you that it comes. All of you. All of you. And you pray for me. I'm also requesting that. I am also forgetting so many things, like I forgot that slok. But I know the essence. We don't have to become sloka loka. Sloka. Loka means, you understand? Planet. And loka in Spanish means crazy. So we do not have to become sloka loka, like becoming so crazy and infatuated and become fanatic to learn all the slokas. That's one meaning. And sloka loka means we will ourselves become a planet full of slokas. But premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sidaiva hridayeshu vilokyanti. It's with the love only we will be able to. The gopis didn't even know how to read or write. Forget slokas. Forget even one sloka. But the highest prem, which Krishna is so crazy that he became Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu did not come. Krishna did not take that form, considering those Vipras or those Brahmanas who chanted all those wonderful slokas from Vishnu Sahasranam or from the different stutis that are there. No. The illiterate gopis and Srimati Radharani, not knowing anything from the Vedas, in spite of that, their love for them, for him, excelled undoubtedly and to an unlimited extent that he says one last thing, absorb this. It's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I think 10th canto, chapter number 32. This verse, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satataiva bhajamiham, of Bhagavad Gita fails here. It works everywhere else except this place. When it comes to the gopis and especially when it comes to Srimati Radharani, Krishna says that I cannot repay you. I cannot reciprocate enough with you. The only gift or the only compliments or the only compensation that is for you gopis and especially Radharani is your own glories. Absorb that. The only compensation, for us the compensation may be that we may be Arti Artharti Jnani Jigyasu. We want all these things. Krishna will give it. Accordingly, we worship him, he will reciprocate. But the gopis of Vrindavan, Radharani's debt he can never pay. He has admitted that himself. These are Krishna's words. That is the bhava of Vrindavan. That is what I hope that you all will take home. How to take home the principles or the fundamentals or the philosophy of Vrindavan, which itself it's so great that Krishna cannot even repay the debt of the Vrajvasis, especially the gopis in the Swapaksha camp and Srimati Radharani herself. Okay? Any other questions?
In Mahamantra, we are using two God names, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. We are using two God names, Sri Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
We are able to what? What is the word?
In Mahamantra there are two God names, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
So we are using single name, Namo Venkatesaya, Namo Vasudevaya, like that,
Prabhuji, for that, how many rounds are you chanting, if you don't mind me asking? How many Mahamantra Harinam you are doing? You don't mind me asking you that? Huh?
5 days.
How many?
5 days.
5 times. Very nice. When you chant 16 rounds, when you hear regular katha, it will be answered to you. Honestly speaking, this whole class was about that. Did you come late? What time you came?
I came on 10:15.
Okay. So, don't worry about it right now. Just chant the Mahamantra and chant it sincerely. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. Okay, and next time when I come, hopefully, I will certainly address your question. Because again, I have to respect what the management told me. This is about 15 minutes this note was sent. So please forgive me. And it's a very, very in-depth answer, which I think it will, if I have to answer it properly and do justice, it will take an extra 1 hour. Minimum, at its minimum. Yes, last question, please. Loudly, please.
To close the line, responsibilities, bhakti, how we can
Manage.
How you can manage?
not balance, how we can prioritize.
How we can?
Prioritize.
Prioritize. How we can prioritize. So your first priority comes to both Krishna and your family. Krishna should always be in the center. And when we prioritize taking care, don't neglect your children, don't neglect your family. And if we do that and if we come to the temple, Prabhupada is not pleased. We have to come to that point, and that is why we have the Varnashram system. Initial Brahmacharya, then enter into Grihastha, so that we have a family. And Grihastha ashram is the best ashram amongst all the 4 ashrams, because maximum seva to Krishna can be done in Grihastha ashram. A sannyasi cannot cook very nicely so many items when he is traveling, but Grihastha can offer so many wonderful items of bhoga to the Lord. To give just a few simple examples. Now, to give you a very, very deeper answer, and I think I had mentioned it yesterday morning, should the bhakti even is possible in Grihastha ashram if we have taken the proper consciousness. Like I gave the example. Were you there yesterday when I said example of Papa? You were there. What is the consciousness? So similarly, when we have our home, like a flat or a bungalow or a villa or whatever we possess, manasa deha geha jo kuch more, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, whatever we have, we have to first have that consciousness that everything belongs to Krishna. Isa vasyam idam sarvam. Everything belongs to Sri Krishna. With that consciousness. Point in that point, sub-point BA. Sub-point B. Everybody in my family, my child, my brothers, sisters, wife, father, mother, they are all part and parcels of Krishna. Mamayam su jiva loka, jiva bhuta sanatan. So, when I'm serving them with the proper consciousness, then it is Shuddha Bhakti. It is pure devotion. Not for my sense gratification, because this is Krishna's property. Just like when we are in the temple, this table is Krishna's property, Prabhupada's property. So we treat it nicely. Not that after the class somebody says, I don't have a table, let me take this home. Or this camera, I don't have a camera or a phone, let me take it with me. This is belonging to Krishna. So similarly, if we day to day life, whatever work we do, perform, even when we go to office, we earn money. That is for the maintenance of Krishna's jivas. Because they have a material body, so they need clothes, they need a place to stay. Paying the electric bill or the water bill or the society maintenance. This is Krishna's house. That is why, what is Vastu? When we get a new house, it is not our that we are entering. It is Lord Krishna we are inviting. Please, Graha Pravesham. When we do, according to Vastu, Graha Pravesham. Who is praveshing the house? Graha Pravesh. Krishna. We are inviting Krishna. Krishna, this is your house and we are simply tenants in your house. So, we will forget this. It's not going to come to us. But that is why I say, make a note somewhere. Something you like so much, and especially it is your question, you should make a note of it. And every morning, if you forget, open it and look at it. Yes, Krishna, this is your home. I'm simply taking care of it. So give me all the energy and all the blessings so I can take care of my family very nicely, because they are your part and parcels. And eventually, my prayer is that they all become Krishna conscious, and when they leave their bodies, they get the highest gift, so that they will never come back in this material consciousness. They will go back to Godhead, home back to Godhead. So that is the highest service. The services that a Grihastha can do, Brahmachari cannot do. Sannyasi cannot do. They can inspire. But eventually, the maximum seva is done by Grihasthas. In any sampradaya you go, Vaishnava sampradaya, most of the pure devotees came from Grihastha ashram. Take any example. The number of Vaishnava acharyas, they were all Grihasthas. Even our Srila Prabhupada was a Grihastha. That is why this Chaturvarnya Maha system Guna Karma Vibhaga. So according to Guna and Karma, I have given these 4 ashrams. Brahmacharya ashram, it is my system, Maya system. Guna and Karma. So if somebody has the business mentality, serve me in that, become a Vaishya, earn lots of money, and use it enough to keep your body and soul together. Don't overindulge into a sense gratification. And whatever extra you have, give it for Krishna conscious purposes, for seva. That is the proper use of Grihastha ashram. So that is why Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, these ashrams help us to elevate ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Brahmacharis, sometimes they are not able to, control their senses, then most of them, everybody nowadays, the recommendation is change and come into Grihastha ashram. In a regulative way, you perform your Grihastha ashram duties and all your relationships, whether you are a parent or you are a husband. Then time will come when you are this ashram, it is an ashram, most important word. I heard this from His Holiness Radhanath Swami about 30 years ago in Chicago. That Grihastha, it is an ashram. Vanaprastha, it is an ashram. Sannyas, it is an ashram. Ashram means voluntary penances we do to attain Krishna Bhakti, to advance in Krishna Bhakti. That is voluntary. So, after that, time will come where we now want to get detached. Although we may be in Grihastha ashram, but there is still some attachment to wife, to children, etc. Then preparing for sannyas ashram is Vanaprastha ashram, where slow detachment happens with the family members. And when sannyas, full detachment should happen. Full detachment. The entire world is my family. That is their consciousness. When they are preaching, everyone is my child. Each and every one. So sannyasi in one sense has got many children, unlimited children in that bhav. So priority means never neglect our children. One time Srila Prabhupada, I gave this example this morning to our host, Mataji, that Prabhupada, one Mataji complained to Prabhupada, and more or less in a very, very sad way, I'm not able to complete my 16 rounds, Prabhupada. I have 2 small children and they take so much of my time. So Prabhupada said, it's all right. When you have time, you chant sincerely. But another devotee who was staying in the temple, he said that I cannot chant my 16 rounds because I have a lot of seva. Prabhupada said, no. You wake up 30 minutes before and sleep 30 minutes late, but you finish all your rounds. So instructions of the Acharya are very important. Sometimes they may not be exactly the same. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's instructions, minimum 64 rounds, good rounds one must chant. In his 26 instructions, that one instruction is there. If you don't chant 64, 1 lakh names of the Lord, Krishna will not even look at your offering. He will not even glance at it. But our Prabhupada, A.C. Bhakti Swami, when he came in New York, they said, tomorrow is Janmashtami, the first batch. You all will get initiated. He said that. So, and then from tomorrow onwards,